Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Round 4 of our MotoGP career mode is here today, and it's time for the Spanish GP of Jerez. Now, Jerez being one of my most favourite circuits in the world, I really love this Spanish Grand Prix, one of the best tracks I've ever watched and also ever played in the sense of the video game, and I'm taking that confidence into it here today in this qualifying session. If you're here for the race, 4 hours too early, the race will be here at 6 PM, but for the time being we have to discuss last time out in Portimao, a terrific race that went right down to the wire. Unfortunately we did come up a little bit short, we just barely missed out on the victory ahead of Johan Zarco and Valentino Rossi, who managed to get his 200th podium, which was pretty epic. But I did feel like I kind of dropped the ball in Portimao, and it's really motivated me to come back and try and win here in Jerez. That is the goal on my mind right now, but it all starts in practice. We have to get into Q2 directly for us to have a chance of a good result here in 4 hours time, because of course qualifying is so crucial in MotoGP. It's crucial in any sport, but more ever in MotoGP than it ever has been. It's so important to make sure you qualify well, because it's so difficult to get past all the other riders. All the riders are very talented and very aggressive on the opening lap, so we have to be that little bit more aggressive, and also we use a little bit too much tyre against AI when we're trying to fight way beyond in the back of the grid perhaps. So this first lap is coming to completion, and a quick recap: Jack Miller, Marquez and Quartararo are your top 3 riders in this session. Our first lap is not going to be too bad. I think we're going to be roughly around a second behind. Let's see what happens. We're going to cross the line, 7/10 of a second behind, 8th position for us right now. But this difficult turn 1, trying everything we can to stop the motorcycle, but unfortunately this lap has gone to the wayside, and now we are 15th place, 1.1 seconds down behind Pecco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin and Jack Miller. So it's the 3 Ducati lads who finished the race on Valencia just a couple of days ago, of course, last week, as there was a crash just to the left of us there. Not sure who crashed, but we're in a good position right now. Got the soft option front and the soft option rear. I did just restart the flying lap after a moment's bit of a mistake into turn 1, of course, as you just seen. But now we're onto the right hand side. 5/10 of a second separates us, and 1.1 second behind, so that's not bad. That should probably put us roughly around 10th place. That would be okay going into qualifying 2, unless anyone comes in with a really funky lap and pushes us further behind. Now, something I did try out and I did consider using was the changing of the brakes. For the first couple of Grand Prix I have been using brake discs 12. Usually, and towards the end of last season I changed it to brake disc 13, and I do find that larger brake disc helps with stopping the motorcycle, but it does whittle away at the tyres that little bit more, because of course it's more pressure and more power being applied to the brakes. So we're going to have to pay attention to that one as we now go into the right hand side for the nice and tight Alex Riviere corner. Don't run it off there, very close to running it off, getting onto the rumble strip, but now into Ferrari, and now going into the final corner, the Lorenzo corner. Firm on the brakes we go for the left-hander for 13. Tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear, so I may consider jumping back into the pits, but for the time being, what is this going to do for our lap times across the line? Should we improve? We shall, but up by only a couple of positions. So we're in 11th place, but unfortunately I did go a little bit wide once again. I did feel like the tyres were getting a little bit overused in that one, so I've changed it up now. Medium front, soft rear. I'm trying to possibly save the softs for the qualifying session if we need them, but for the time being, a medium front and a rear soft seems to be a good combination, which we have used in the past. I do like a nice and firm front, but we'll see how things progress. But I did quite like the feeling of the soft front, but goodness me, we were very eager on the acceleration for that soft rear. Look how much we slid around with the tyres, and they're already extremely warm. Look how hot it is on the bottom right hand corner of your screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Must be a little bit more gentle on the acceleration, but hard on the brakes. We'll go very firm on the brakes. Look how out of shape we're getting, but we still somehow managed to stop the Aprilia RSGP, and we're still on board the motorcycle. Not too bad. So now onto the left hand side for the nice and tight apex of turn 7. A bit too tight there, running it on the rumble strip. But now onto the left hand side for the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner. 0.2 of a second we are clear from our previous lap time. This should be enough to put us into the top 10 positions, and it's exactly what we need. So onto the right hand side, we're only a 1/10.5 down from Pecco Bagnaia's lap time. This should be enough to get us into the top couple of positions, and that is exactly what we need. Is look at how warm that soft tyre is. Goodness me, that soft tyre is absolutely burning up something chronic. Maybe the soft rear is not a good idea, but onto the firm brakes we go for the left-hander. Look at us sliding it into 13. Nothing but style points given here to DrAce, but now bringing on the acceleration with a scalding hot rear tyre across the line. Is this good enough? Oh my goodness, we only improved to 12th position. Goodness me, this is going to be a very difficult qualifying session if this is how tight it is. I thought at least a 10th or 2 would put us at least maybe 8th or 9th position. Not quite. The gap is 5/10 of a second to the man who's leading the way with a 1:37.023, which I think is about to be beaten in a moment's time by the same man. Pecco Bagnaia has got 3 red sectors under his belt right now. Where is he going to be when towards the end of the lap? I can't actually see where he is on the graphic in the bottom left-hand corner. Across the line he went, and he went, oh my goodness, a 1:36.941. The boundaries have been shifted once again from the runner-up of the MotoGP World Championship. But look at us, not too bad. The man, oh my goodness, someone went down there. It's Jack Miller. He seems to have dropped the motorcycle. Something has happened to the man on board the Ducati Desmosedici GP21. But for us, a red sector in the first sector and an orange in the second as Quartararo crashes once again in this session. I think he crashed out so many times last time out in Portimao and even crashed in the race. But onto the right-hand side we'll go for the Angel Nieto corner. We are roughly teetering. It's not bad. 0.2 of a second down. It's not really going to do anything special for us, but at the same time we are still up compared to our previous lap time, so we should, in theory, improve to a better position. Onto the right hand side we'll go for Ferrari. 13th place we're in right now. Where is this lap time going to put us? Doesn't look like we've got much in it anymore. There's really not. I mean, look at that. We have a 10th to play with. We don't even have a 10th anymore. It's a white sector. We lost all that time in the Lorenzo corner, thus resulting in Grant going into Q1. So Bagnaia was the quickest man here in Jerez at this weekend with a 1:36.941. Quartararo and Rins are your top 3 riders, but Grant into Q1. Who will be joining us into Q1? All of these riders on your screen right now. Teammate Aleix Espargaro is already in qualifying 2, so let's put in some good lap times and join him. So here we go then, qualifying 2 underway. A change of the tyres. I do think that maybe the soft front with the medium rear should be a better combination. Now looking at the last couple of laps we had in the practice session, the rear tyre, the soft, got absolutely destroyed within a couple of laps. So we really need to consider either going to the medium rear. Well, I'm not a big fan of it, but we should consider the hard option rear as well. But I never seem to like the hard option rear. But we're starting off pretty well so far. We've got a red sector going into turn 5. Where are we going to be coming out of turn 6? Let's see in a moment's time. So bring on the acceleration, power setting 3 enabled, and let's get firm on the brakes just before the DHL sign. Up by 0.2 of a second as this Aprilia skips and bobbles across the track like a skipping stone. So we'll now get onto the left hand side, bring it in nice and tight, but don't go on the rumble strip. I did go on the rumble strip, just a little bit of a mess. Ooh, I thought we were going to run it off wide, but those rumble strips here in Jerez can be absolutely brutal. So be very careful if you do stray too far onto the rumble strip. So sector 3 lap time coming up any moment now. It'll give us a good indication of where we're going to be. Up by 3.5 of a second to Miguel Oliveira's lap time of 1:37.967. Now bear in mind Bagnaia got the lap time down to a 1:36. So that's not really good, probably going to be safe for a Q2 entry, but let's see what happens as we now go hard on the brakes for the left-hander. A bit controlled actually on the brakes, not as usually as abrupt and aggressive as we sometimes can be, but bringing on the acceleration, try to avoid that rumble strip because you lose a lot of time there. But across the line we do improve to a 1:37.303, so the soft option front and medium rear combination looks pretty good so far, if I do say so myself. But now onto the right hand side, look at that braking, looking like Stop Rack Razgati Oglu there. Call me Stop Grant instead. And that was absolutely fantastic. But now onto the left hand side for the 4th corner. Lost a little bit of time getting caught up on the rumble strip, but we're still near enough to our lap times. Looking at the left hand side of the screen though, I'm seeing a factory Yamaha YZR M1 of Maverick Vinales putting himself into the contention with 2 red sectors. And don't forget about the Beast, Enea Bastianini with a red sector as well, and Miguel Oliveira with an orange sector into the first one. Right hand side for the DrAce corner. Excuse me, it's now the Danny Pedrosa corner. Got a bit of a retro corner name for you there as we get onto the left hand side. Onto the rumble strip if we can avoid it. I really need to. And we're up by 0.3 of a second. Goodness me, that one sector alone we've made a massive difference Hard on the brakes will go. Well, can't go any harder than that. Onto the Angel Nieto corner. Right again, we're up by 0.2 of a second. Look at all them red sects on the left-hand side of your screen though, ladies and gentlemen. Bastianini, Oliveira, Rossi, Marquez, Espargaro, Nakagami. Oh my goodness, Maverick Vinales in there as well with 3 red sectors. So is the Beast. This could be very, very close going into the left-hander. Maverick Vinales, oh look at that lap time. A 1:36.4 is about 0.8 of a second clear from us right now. Bringing on the acceleration with absolutely no fuel left puts us into second place. We temporarily had a position into Q2. We do have Lorenzo Savadori positioned quite nicely ahead of us. If he could assist us going into the Dani Pedrosa corner, and maybe towards the end, as there's been absolute carnage in the left-hand side there. And oh my goodness me, Danilo Petrucci just slid in front of Lorenzo Savadori. Our toe of Lorenzo Savadori almost went disappearing as quicker than Danilo Petrucci's chances of qualifying into Q2 after that crash. But onto the right-hand side we will go. This is the part I'm speaking of. Cito Pons going into Dani Pedrosa. How much slipstream can we acquire here, trailing our teammate Savadori? Not picking up much speed, but we'll get hard on the brakes and try and chase him down. Look how firm we are on the brakes there, trying to stop the Aprilia RSGP, but we've managed to get it stopped, and now we're in a perfect position right behind teammate. Let's see what we can do. Can Savadori help us get to the promised land of Q2? Also at the same time, we're going to end up hindering his own progress. Savadori's on a slow lap, so actually, if he wouldn't mind moving out of the way, that would be great, because we are right on the precipice of getting through if we can get this lap time hooked up nicely. Please, Savadori, you are now beginning to get in the way. I'm up by 0.2 of a second. Savadori, Lorenzo, my good friend, please move out the way because I'm running out of chances to overtake you cleanly. He's got a little bit out of shape. It's going to be a contact. Oh, massive contact. Move out the way. I'm on a wicked lap here. Don't hinder my progress. Hard on the brakes will go for the Lorenzo corner, using everything to try and stop this Aprilia. We managed to get the job done. Is this going to be enough, though, to get us into Q2 directly? Getting a bit out of shape on the rumble strip. Bring it on. Bring on the acceleration. Is it enough? It's top position. And it's enough. It's enough for Q2. This video continues a little bit longer because we are on our way to Q2 with Maverick Vinales. So here we are then, Q2. The riders from Q1 have joined them, and now it is time to battle it out for that elusive pole position. Now, after going into Q1 and battling with some of the best riders in that particular part, we now have a good chance of qualifying pretty well. It's not going to be perfect, but if we can get in maybe the middle row, 6th, 7th place, I'd be more than happy with that. Let's see what we can produce. I'm using the same tyres that we finished with on Q1, just because simply get out there, chuck a benchmark lap in, let's see what we can do, and then we'll go for it. We'll go for the big bad lap times, and we'll see what we can produce. I might go for the soft option front and medium rear combination again. That was pretty good earlier on. I am running out of tyres, so I'm going to have to be very careful with what we choose, but what a lap to get us into Q2. Can we do the same and have a good old session in Q2 as well? So onto the right hand side for the Pedrosa corner. Not too bad. A 10th of a second down to Joan Mir's lap time of a 1:37.221, but of course these are early lap times with 12 minutes remaining of the session, so I don't think that those lap times are going to be there by the end of this session, so we'll see what can be produced. Of course, a note being that our fast lap time was a 1:36.4, so we still have a good 0.8 of a second to improve upon. That lap time might even be just above the 1:36s. Who knows yet? Who knows who's going to do it as well, because it's going to take some really, really quick riders and maybe a little bit of a slipstream to get into the low 1:36s. But all I know is that this video will continue until we have our man on pole position, whether that be me or whether that be another rider. But all I know is I do feel rather confident as well. Not possibly pole position, but we'll get a good old feel in a minute as we cross the line. Let's see what the lap times are going to be. It's, a 1:36. Oh my goodness, a 1:36.9. Immediately bettered by Joan Mir. It's a 1:36.4. Now, we did a 1:36.4. If we can produce that lap time like we did trailing behind Lorenzo Savadori, that isn't hindered by bumping into the side of the teammate, we do have a good chance of a potential pole position here. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but if we can get back-to-back pole positions, that would be amazing. That would just be absolutely epic. So, soft front, medium rear combination. Is this the combination that's going to put us on the front row? Bring on acceleration. We are currently in provisional 6th place, just 1,000th of a second quicker than Johan Zarco as things stands. But on the brakes, we will go for the right-hander, trailing behind Pecco Bagnaia. If you want to follow any man in qualifying, it's that man on your screens right now. Pecco Bagnaia is an absolute beast, whether it be video game format or real life, of course. But onto the left-hand side now for the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner. We're still 0.2 of a second, roughly, quicker than where we were previously. So on the right-hand side, we'll go for Nieto corner, or the Angel Nieto corner. Right-hand side once more for Pelequi. Still very, very good. We have a good chance here, ladies and gentlemen, we really do. On the right-hand side, we'll go now, getting a little bit out of shape. Would have rather hooked up a little bit nicely. Oh my goodness, very tight to the apex there, practically always running wide. Bagnaia dives into the pits, and we're going to dive into the 13th corner. Bring on the acceleration. Is this going to be enough to put us onto the front row? Let's find out. Bring on the acceleration. Across the line we will go. 3rd position. We have a front row start. That's fantastic. The qualifying can end now. I'm really happy with that one. The tyres feel great. The bike feels good. I'm pretty confident in our abilities now. Oh, no, I had to speak. Oh, I could feel it. I was pushing so hard. I thought I had it, though. I felt good with the bike. I did feel like I was pushing hard, but I know the Aprilia pretty well. We've done 2 seasons with it, or 1.5 seasons, and it usually hangs on. But I think the changing of the package, what we did in the winter testing, has made it a little bit more unstable compared to last year's bike, something I'm still beginning to learn. But can Johan Zarco just stop it for 1 second? I've just noticed as well, I've neglected to mention this because it frustrates me. Johan Zarco not only took our victory away in Portimao and forced it to 3rd position, he has now just pinched my front row start. Johan Zarco, please go away. Oh my god. Johan Zarco, I didn't want you to crash, but just go away. I mean, oh my goodness, Johan Zarco just crashed as we were speaking. But back to the action that is unfolding beneath our eyes right now. We're actually on a pretty good lap here. No reference this time of Pecco Bagnaia, just good old-fashioned, hard-charging Grant on board the Aprilia. We're actually going to go up into the 3rd split with a red sector, perhaps. Well, let's find out as we go into the nice and tight right-hander, even the tighter right-hander for Pelequi, dropping it down to about 70 miles an hour. 30,000th of a second. This is still on, ladies and gentlemen. This is still on. Do we have a chance? It all depends how well we do into this sector here. Ferrari has been nailed pretty well. We have a 10th and a bit. Let's brake hard as possible going into the Lorenzo corner. Nice and tight to the apex, so this is good. This is a really good entry going into 13. Oh my goodness, is this going to be enough for a potential provisional pole across the line? It is! Up by 18,000th of a second. As we now go wide into turn 1. Don't touch that, Miller. Whoa, oh no, that's it. That's it. That's the end of the session. Fingers crossed, toes crossed the lot. Are we going to do it? We've done it! Back-to-back pole positions from Q1 to Q2. Pole position. Thank you very much. Goodness me. And we took out Johan Zarco from the front row. Today's a good day. And also look at Maverick Vinales. Joined me through Q1. He takes 2nd place. Unbelievable. But guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're looking forward to the race, let me know in the comment section down below. And I will see you at 6 PM for the Grand Prix. So thanks for watching as always, guys. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.